Have you ever caught yourself doing something small, almost unnoticeable, and wondered, why do I do this when most people don't? Not better, not worse, just different. Psychologists say that some everyday behaviors aren't habits at all. They're signals. Signals that your brain may be wired in a way that doesn't follow the standard path. And here's the unsettling part. Most people who have these traits don't even realize how different their mind really is. If you recognize yourself in more than one of these, you might never see the way you think the same way again. Let's start with the first behavior, one that almost always gets misunderstood. You feel overwhelmed by simple environments. Not chaos, not a rock concert, but ordinary places. A crowded supermarket with its humming freezers and squeaking cartwheels. A brightly lit office where the fluorescent bulbs seem to buzz just for you. A room where too many conversations are happening at once, and you can't focus on any single one because you're hearing all of them. Psychologists link this to heightened sensory processing. Your brain isn't filtering information the way most brains do. Instead, it's taking in more data, all at the same time. Think of it like a sound engineer's mixing board, but instead of just one track being active, every single fader is pushed to the max. This doesn't mean weakness. In fact, studies show this is often present in people who are highly perceptive, creative, or analytical, but it comes at a cost. Your mind works harder, constantly scanning, evaluating, absorbing, which is why silence doesn't feel empty to you. It feels like relief. And that leads directly to something else you may have noticed about yourself. You think best when you're alone. Not lonely, not isolated, just alone. While others seem to recharge through social interaction, your clarity comes in quiet moments, walking by yourself late at night, staring out a window doing what looks like nothing, or just sitting in a silent room. Psychologists say this often points to a deep internal cognitive style. Your thoughts aren't shallow or fast-moving, they're layered. In those quiet moments, you replay conversations, not out of anxiety, but to understand them. You simulate outcomes to future decisions. You question the basic assumptions most people accept without a second thought. To the outside world, it can look like withdrawal or standoffishness, but internally, your mind is working at full speed, connecting dots no one else sees. If that feels familiar, this next one might feel a little uncomfortable. You replay past conversations over and over. Not just the embarrassing moments, the ones that make you cringe at 3 a.m, but everything. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because if your mind works this way, you often do something that seems contradictory. There are moments when you are completely and utterly absorbed. You're in the zone. Hours can pass by without you even noticing. The world just melts away, and there is only the task, the idea, the creation. And then, just as suddenly, you disconnect, you pull back. You're no longer in the scene, you're watching it. You observe instead of engaging. It's like a camera pulling focus from a close-up to a wide shot of the entire room, including yourself. Psychologists believe this isn't a flaw in your attention, it's a feature. It reflects a brain that naturally shifts between deep, immersive focus and what they call meta-awareness. In simpler terms, you don't just think, you think about how you're thinking. You're analyzing the process itself. And that ability, that is incredibly rare. It's the reason people like this are so often drawn to philosophy, to strategy, to art, or to solving the kinds of complex problems that make other people just give up. If you've recognized yourself in any of this so far, I want you to pay close attention to this next one, because for many, it's one of the strongest indicators of all. You question the normal life paths, things like marriage timelines, the expected career ladder, the unspoken social expectations that seem to guide everyone else. You don't automatically reject them, but you don't blindly accept them either. Every single one is held up to the light. It's examined. It's questioned. Psychologists link this to something called independent cognitive framing. It means your mind doesn't rely on the social defaults, the pre-approved settings for how to live a life. Instead, you build your own meaning from scratch, using your personal logic, not group consensus. And this often makes other people uncomfortable. They might call you things too deep, difficult, or my personal favorite, overly analytical, as if it's a choice. But the truth is much simpler. Your brain just isn't optimized for conformity. It wasn't built for it. And finally, there's the behavior most people never talk about because it's so hard to put into words. It's the feeling that you're slightly out of sync with the world, not disconnected from it, and certainly not superior to it, just off rhythm, like you're hearing the music a fraction of a beat ahead or behind everyone else. You sense things before they happen. You process emotions, not necessarily later, but more deeply after they've had time to settle. You often only truly understand a situation after you've had time to step back from it completely. This is described as asynchronous processing. Your mind isn't slower or faster, it's just operating on a different timeline, and that can feel profoundly isolating at times. But it's also the very reason that people with this trait so often become the ones who see the problems early, the ones who question the systems that everyone else takes for granted, the ones who notice the small, quiet truths that others ignore. So if you've recognized yourself in these behaviors, in these patterns, there is nothing broken about you. Your mind just wasn't built for shortcuts. It wasn't built for surface-level thinking or for easy, prepackaged answers. It's a mind that was built to see more and to feel more, even when that comes with a certain weight. The real question isn't whether your mind works differently. It's whether you've learned how to live in a world that wasn't designed for it. If this felt personal to you, please know you're not alone. You can share your thoughts if you feel comfortable. Sometimes the quietest minds have the most to say. And if you're looking for more psychology that goes beyond the surface explanations, you can find more at Gulbosphere, because understanding your mind is the very first step to finally truly trusting it.